Hello and welcome to the Big Bang Theory podcast. My name's John, here, my friend and colleague Dan.
Hello.
We're sick as dogs, and it isn't just about the results.
Yeah, no, just generally.
Got fresh as flu.
Yeah.
Got autumn.
I've got fresh as flu, even though I went on holiday for the entirety of Freshers Week. But I suppose that means they're still here, aren't they?
They're still here infecting
I know
us.
what you're probably thinking, why would I be affected by Freshers Week? But that's in relation to my career.
Dan's just started a degree in film and video American studies at the University of Tiverton.
I haven't done any of those.
Oh,
things.
shame.
I've never even been to Tiverton, as you well know.
You've never been to Tiverton?
No, never been to any of them.
Well, that's not true.
Why would I?
Castle? Morrison's?
I don't need to go all the way to Tiverton to go to Morrison's.
No.
There's one at the end of Prince Charles Road.
There is one at the end of Prince Charles
A fine
Road.
one.
King
Formerly
Charles Road.
Leo's. Always be Leo's in my mind.
Oh, yeah, all right. Prince Leo Road. City are in a pit of despair currently. Last night, Charlton Athletic away, lost 4-1. Saturday, Northampton Town at home, lost 2-0. Blah.
Yeah, so we had the really good Luton result, didn't we, in the cup?
Wild times.
Followed by,
Mass celebration.
let's be honest, fairly underwhelming draw against Middlesbrough, where it was actually harder to get a shite, boring team than a good, exciting one, but yet somehow he managed it.
Yeah.
So we've got that to look forward to. But, yeah, since then, in the league, played 2, lost 2. Northampton, let's talk about that first. Northampton at home.
I mean,
game
bogey
that
side
I know.
Northampton, aren't they?
Yeah, but it was not like they always beat us.
No.
Did beat him away in the... No, was it? We beat him in that away in the sort of second to last game of the season.
You were there, I think.
I was there. I can't remember the score. I think we won. But yeah, this time they had us. Very similar kind of sort of set of circumstances to the Oxford game, where once we went 1-0 down, we didn't have anything in nothing sort of in the way of firepower to respond, apart from really to sort of leave ourselves like exposed whilst attempting to score and eventually give away a second goal.
Yeah, disappointing, wasn't it?
It was.
What, I think one shot on target whole game, and it wasn't.
There was like some that I think, I don't know, they like might count. Like there was one from Wildschut, however you want to pronounce his name. I'm gonna have to come to consensus on that because I'm not I'm not pausing every time I say his name. I'll just call him Yannick. But it was, I don't know if, I mean, it's very tame shot. And then Kyle Taylor kind of did kick the ball in the direction of the goal at one point, kind of like sort of looping. I don't know if that counted either. Anyway, it's relevant really because whether or not we had a shot on target, we never threatened to score.
No, we didn't.
Sonny Cox up front. I was getting a bit fed up with it, to be honest, and may have said some things in the heat of the moment on the Big Bang, which I now regret slightly.
Fair enough.
But
it happens to the best of us.
Yeah, but I forget because he's been around for so long that I was in my mind he was older than he is. I thought he was probably 20, but he's not. He's only 18.
Yeah, he's a young fella.
And also, he's like, he's doing a job which he is not capable of doing. The problem is that if he doesn't do that job, I'm not 100% sure what job he does because he's not got pace. He's not quick enough to play wider of those two. So the only thing I can think of is he play as a part of a 2, which has been tried, and Colwood doesn't tend to do, like not strictly speaking. In fact, very few people do really. But there's a long way to go from yet, and I think it's needs must, isn't it, because of the situation we find ourselves in, where we're very, very short up front, especially.
Yeah. It feels like we'll come on to this in a minute, but we're always going to be limited in terms of like whoever's up front for this team currently. We don't know about the Admiral because no one's ever seen him, but whoever's up front for this team is not Nombe and is not Giovanni. They're going to need more than half a chance in a game to get some kind of goal.
Yeah.
And the way we're playing, because we're so measured to the point of like almost inertia at times, there's just not going to be that many chances. So we've got a systematic problem matched with a personnel problem, haven't we?
I think so, and I think some of those sort of things were some of those fears were slightly dealt with a little bit. We'll come on to in moments in the Charlton game, but the way we played on Saturday, we could have been playing for a week and we wouldn't have scored a goal.
I mean, it's worth remembering.
The other thing about the Northampton thing is we were actually kind of very, very abject for the whole game. We couldn't get there's no passing rhythm. And if our team's got anything, it's that. You know, if we haven't got that, then, we're looking to get the goals from elsewhere, essentially, because they don't look like they're coming from whoever's playing. Didn't look like it was going to be coming from Sonny Cox. Goals coming from midfield. We had nothing. It wasn't happening. The centre backs were probably the worst we've seen them.
Yeah.
No one had a good game. I mean, Tinosalo kept us in it. He made a number of goal scoring kind of preventing saves or whatever.
Yeah.
And even his kicking was a bit bad on the day.
It was. It's worth saying, of course, missing Mitchell because he was suspended from the cup game. Yes. And then Trevitt's out injured. And of course, they've both contributed with the goals. And they're both excellent players.
That's big, and I think Trevitt especially is a big one. Gives us something a little extra. Like, I'm a big fan of Reece Cole. I think he's very good.
Yeah.
But I think possibly he's a bit of a luxury player, isn't he? And sometimes, and I think he's not someone I would have starting centre midfield in every single match. Just not. I think he's someone to bring on to hurt teams and then start in certain matches depending on who the opposition were. And I think we needed someone a bit kind of brighter. He don't close down. When for Northampton's a goal, they basically were cut completely wide open.
Yeah.
And Reece Cole doesn't close down the man who plays the through ball. And he's just a bit, and like I said, I think he's a bit of a kind of like a bit luxury and but we've got these injuries, and then what can you do? He's only playing. I don't think he is a first choice every week centre midfielder. No. I think he's having to play because of injuries elsewhere.
Yeah, it was disappointing, though, wasn't it? Like, even with those absences, we're starting to realise, actually, we already knew that the league position was a bit of an anomaly, but also, actually, there are some games we've scored, we've won, but it's been one of 2 or 3 chances, and Mitchell or Trevitt or Aimson or someone like that's got kind of gone above and beyond. Oh, we've come away with the win. Great. We're just starting to see, aren't we? There's another element missing, or one of those players isn't there to get that magic goal. It's starting to creak a bit.
Yeah.
Northampton have always been that team as well, haven't they? Get the early goal and then make the most of everything. And
yeah. And I think in League One, playing the way we do, we're not likely to kind of we're not likely to have particularly high scoring matches.
No.
It's not kind of direct enough for that, We're aiming to control games and win them in that way.
Yeah.
And that does require firepower, obviously, which we are lacking a bit. But it's going to be more like we keep a clean sheet and score 1 or 2 goals. That's probably more that's probably what success looks like for this team.
Yeah. Colwell was particularly cross, wasn't he, about lack of clean sheet on Saturday? And I mean, he's right. Keep a clean sheet, you're coming away with at least a point. Like, it's just the basics of football, but we were never really in danger of keeping a clean sheet, given how many chances they had and how often Sinisalo had to.
The depressing thing about Saturday was that Northampton were not good either.
No.
So we kind of lost comprehensively to a not particularly good team.
Come to last night at the Valley, Charlton away.
Yeah, 700 and something Grecian supporters.
Amazing. I mean, look, like we outsang them, and I know it's easy because we're condensed into that small block. But
always the way with the away games as well. I mean, also like the size of. I think there was a lot of people there, but the size of Charlton's ground, it looks like there's no one there.
Yeah.
And then I think a lot of City fans live in London and up
easy
there,
to
don't
get
they?
to, isn't it, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, started very well.
Well, yeah. So there's quite a few changes for this match.
Yeah.
Fitzwater in for Sweeney.
Yeah.
I think it was in the Luton game that he started last, was it? Possibly.
Yeah, I think so.
Harry Kite kind of playing right wing back.
Yeah.
And then Vincent Harper, obviously Dimitri Mitchell's back. James Scott starts instead of Sonny Cox.
Yeah.
Still no Musquet anywhere to be seen in the squad.
No.
And
Aitchison, worth saying, is starting to come onto the pitch.
Aitchison came on against Northampton and looked kind of bright, and then I think that's a boost. Definitely, that's a good thing. And yeah, we actually went a goal ahead in this match. We kind of weathered the storm for the first 10 minutes or so. Mm-hmm. We soaked up the pressure. They had a few chances. They had the ball in the back of the net from Chuks and Ike, although he was offside.
Yeah.
And then we scored an excellent goal. Yeah. And this is this is how you can do it. This is how it can be done with the personnel that you currently have. And it's you could see what had happened, and it was kind of Gary Caldwell at his best, really, because James Scott gets the ball off Alex Hartridge, and he's literally standing on the edge of his own D.
Yeah.
Or gets the ball off someone. He gives it to Hartridge. Scott obviously moves further up the pitch. Hartridge plays it into Reece Cole, who then spots Scott carrying on his forward run and plays just like an absolutely beautiful pass.
Yeah.
Defence splitting, similar to Northampton's goal, but I think even better ball.
Yeah. Kind
of round the corner. James Scott's through. He could square it to Mitchell. He doesn't. He gives the keeper the eyes and puts it in at the keeper's near post. We're 1-0 up.
Yeah.
But that's perfect. That's how you can do it. You drag the centre. You got your focal point is Scott. You drag the centre backs forward by Scott dropping deep, and then they're too far at the pitch. There's space in behind. He runs into it. He's quick, Scott. He's quicker than he looks. He's in behind, and then we score. It's a perfect Exeter City goal, if you like, against a team like that who are probably maybe a bit better than us, and they're at home, and it was excellent. And when we nearly saw out the half.
Well, Scott had another chance, didn't he?
He did. So I'm not convinced about Harry Kite playing right wing back.
No.
For a few reasons. One, don't think when required to be, don't think he's good enough in the box, in our box, defending.
Yeah.
Like 1v1. Don't think he's good enough for that. And obviously aerially, it's pointless in being there. But he did find some going forward down the right hand side. He looked pretty good on occasions, and that was one of the times he found himself in so much space on the right hand side, and then picks out James Scott in the middle. The pass is good, but it's heavy.
Yeah.
And it's like
it's quick, isn't it?
It's really quick. And Scott, it's a really different. He just uses the pace of the ball that comes at him, and it goes just narrowly, kind of just over the bar.
Yeah.
But it would have been a hell of a goal, like technique wise, but didn't want to be.
And that would have been 2-0.
That would have been 2-0 at that point. And then we just let in a sloppy goal. Just a sloppy goal.
Right before half time.
Ball into the box. There's two defenders. The centre back gets in between the two of them and just nods it in. Their centre forward. Is it? No, it's not an EK, is it? No, it doesn't just not slot it in. It comes off the bar.
Yes.
And then gets
Blackett Taylor.
Blackett Taylor then knocks it in. But it's got to be dealt with.
There were two chances on it before the shot and then the deflection.
Yeah, I think the biggest crime is neither of those two centre backs dealing with. I think it's Fitzwater first and then Aimson second.
Yeah,
you just Fitzwater. I don't know what he's doing. You're not timed your jump properly. You're not in the right position. You don't know exactly where the attacker is. Got to do better than that. You got to do better than that in the penalty area.
Yeah, and you feel like Sweeney might have. Well, it's obviously hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? But I'm not really sure why Sweeney's not in that starting 11.
The thing is, right, I think Fitzwater looks really good.
Yeah.
I actually think he's solid. And obviously Aimson on his day can be amazing. The amount of team of the weeks he's in, and we've had some amazing performances, so many clean sheets this season already, where he's just looked like the best defender in the league.
Yeah.
But I feel like him moved to the right of those three, where Sweeney would normally play. He's not anywhere near as good on the ball as Sweeney.
Mm.
And if you're going to let in And if you're gonna get out jumped in the air, then why are you the one that's being preferred there? Do you know what I mean? Because presumably people know that Sweeney is better on the ball.
Yeah.
And they think that Caldwell thinks Amerson is better defending. And at his best, he quite clearly is. But it's inconsistent because he had a shocker, you know?
Yes, that's 1-1 at half time. And that's... Well, it's not all. That's not momentum gone. Obviously, we know what happens next.
No, the momentum is with them.
Yeah.
I think that goal had sort of been we were containing them, but doing it well until that point. But yeah, it goes quite swiftly downhill from here.
So a lot of people are saying that the turning point's when Harper comes off.
It is.
So he comes off at the hour.
This is where I think Caldwell's made the mistake here, and I do get it because that's where Harper basically is a free man in the first half. You mean like the way that Charlton are pressing or are trying to, arrange their players. Harper's quite often been free, and he's got a lot of joy down the left-hand side. I mean, it actually lead to any goals, but like he's getting on the ball, and he looked really good, and he's fast, and he's young, and he's fit. Because Caldwell said at the change was a tactical one to try and kind of like, and I understand, there was like. That's where the free man was. And he's like, let's just try something else. We'll try a different guy down there and then maybe I'll chuck something in. But Wildschut came on and I've never seen anything. I've never seen 5 minutes like it. I mean, we haven't seen much of him yet. I know he's kind of a guy who's, best years are behind him. He can't dribble. It was just shocking. And then he gives away a penalty.
Yeah.
And I don't think Vinnie Harper would have done that. It's a stupid... That's the problem as well, right? Because you bring him on, Wildschut, in that position, he's going to have to go in the box. Same as Harry Kite on the other side. Okay, yeah, he can get forward well and you use the width well. He's got when we're defending, which we're going to be doing a lot of against away from home, he's got to go in the box.
Yeah.
And he goes in the box and he swings his foot at the ball without looking and who's around him and gives away a penalty.
Yeah. So... The penalty's converted on the rebound from the post.
Yeah.
There's obviously some disquiet about Alfie May coming into the box before the penalty's been hit.
He's inside the D when it's taken, for sure.
I mean, it happens all the time.
Yeah, and I don't think, like, the officials aren't good enough to be spotting that. And even if they did, they're probably like, well, it's not enough inside the box, Like, I know they do it with the keeper. Like, if the keeper's even, like, a bit off their line, they'll kind of, like... jump on that because they were kind of told there was a bit of an initiative, wasn't there, to stop that happening. But as far as the attacker's been in the D, I'm not sure anyone's even paying attention.
So 2-1. Sinisalo's made the save, hasn't he? He's made the save to push it off the post.
Good save. Yeah.
So he's going to be gutted.
Yeah, I hate Alfie May. I hate him.
Yeah, he's always there and he being a narc.
Yeah. And then
so that's 2-1.
Straight away after that.
Straight away.
What's his name? David Rock.
Chris Rock's brother. A whiter version of Chris Rock.
The Rock. Dwayne Johnson, The Rock.
Yeah.
Gives Will Amerson a red card for... This is the ref that had to apologise to us for telling the linesman to put his flag down when Cambridge scored against us in the FA Cup.
Second round, yeah. Denied us to go into Newcastle in the third round.
Yeah, official apology. You know, and so he's back. And then he gives Will Amerson a red card for getting, I mean, at best, and kind of coming together. At worst, you could make a case for it. Ameson's the one who's fouled.
Yeah.
Like, it looks, like, I get it in a way, right, because it does look a bit, like, weird. The way he kind of...
Well, he's lost control of the ball.
He's lost control of the ball, but he doesn't touch Alfie May. He doesn't touch him, and he goes down like he's, snapped his leg in half.
Yeah.
And he just clips the ball away. That's all that happens. Yeah. And it's been pretty unanimously, like, from all sides, Charlton fans, everybody. It's even been, like, kind of posted by those kind of EFL accounts going, like, can you believe this?
Yeah.
Like, I showed it to... this bloke at work, and when I was showing it to him, I was like, one of these players gets sent off for this one, and he was just like, had no idea which one it would be who was sent off, like.
Yeah. Not so, and a straight red.
Yeah.
Straight red.
And then it's over. Like,
then it's over.
Like, we're already behind, They're already,
on top.
They're on top, yeah. But we've got no chance then.
So, obviously, terrible refereeing. But we essentially are currently playing the percentage game of we keep the ball, we create either enough possession or enough chances to nick a goal, right? If Giovanni Brown's in your team, for example, or actually Alfie May, if we're honest, or, some absolute superstar, those players maybe can do it with one or two chances, right?
Yeah.
We don't have that player. Like, we just don't.
No.
And so...
But the problem is that we also don't have the players to play in the other way.
No.
We can't go back to the Matt Taylor direct approach.
I know we don't.
The thing is, I'm in favour of how we play. I really like it. I really like the building out from the back. I really like that we've brought in the players that do that kind of thing. I like watching that type of football. I think it can work really well. The problem of it here is the recruitment. We haven't brought the right people in. We've done strange things like sell Sam Nombe at the last minute with no replacement.
Yeah.
The players we have brought in don't. Some of them are excellent, but I mean the ones at the last minute, Wildschut being brought in. What's he? What's he for? Do you mean like is he not supposed to be a striker?
Well, that's
because can we not play him through the middle then?
That's what we all assume.
Because that's not happened.
Yeah.
And I just don't know what. It's just really disappointing because we look like we're so close to being like kind of like this is a kind of exciting prospect now, and we show kind of glimpses of it at the start of the season. And with the full squad, we might not be having this conversation as in these tones, but it's annoying.
Well, compare and contrast Ryan Bowman, right? Remember him?
Unfortunately, yeah. Before you go on, I'd like to state that I'd rather be in the position we're in now than have Ryan Bowman.
Fine, that's fine. But when Bowman was at the last minute bid on by Shrewsbury, we insisted on him staying. And I don't exactly remember the statistics, and it's hard to work out without trolling. But
he was crap after.
He was, but he got a few goals, and he was obviously had a bit of a huff on.
Yeah.
But he did kind of enough to justify the decision. As in, like, they realised there's two bad situations here. We either sell him and have no one to replace him, or we don't sell him and he's probably going to be in a bit of a mood, and we probably won't get the best from him, but we have got some idea what he can do.
Yeah.
And we went with that option.
But I don't think Colboy don't want that, does he?
And I get
he wants people that want to be there, and like that's his kind of philosophy, and like that's kind of
why didn't we have the backup?
Well, this is the thing, and all I can think is I don't know enough about him, but all I can think is that Luke Harris, we put all our eggs in this Luke Harris basket,
and Callum Morton,
who ended up being bit crock and gone to Forest Green.
He's gone to Forest Green. He's only played one game. So
right, yeah. So that's but the problem is that we must have had an idea that Nombe was going to go.
Yeah,
we should have had other things lined up, and I know it's hard, and I don't know the exact way you deal with it, but I do think it could have been handled better than this. And what on earth is happening? What's happened with Musgrave? Why is no one even saying anything about him?
Yeah.
Other than that he's injured, he doesn't even get brought up. Like. We heard he played for like 10 minutes when he first arrived, and then we've not seen him since. He didn't get injured during the match, did he?
I don't believe so.
There's no, let's just get rid of him then. Send him back. What's the point?
Again, so Rankin, we've been told very clearly, but quite a bad injury. He's gone back to Chelsea. They're pleased with his progress. There's information, isn't there? We've heard nothing about the Admiral. Nothing.
No. Yeah, no. It's really weird.
And given that we've gone for Wildschut on a 4-month contract, makes you wonder, I'm sure there are some really expensive players out there who couldn't get a team.
Are you thinking about the big man?
Who's the big man?
Well, who's brought up every single transfer window?
Who is?
Connor Wickham.
Well, for example, him.
He's still not playing for anyone.
But in a way, a better.
I don't want him, but I don't know who else is out there. Do you mean I don't know?
Well, you hear all these things, don't you, all the time? You just think maybe it's.
It shouldn't have come to that.
It shouldn't have come to
I don't
that.
think, given the circumstances, that Vilcea is probably any better or worse than probably half the other options out there for a short-term deal, having left it to the last minute when you haven't got anything prepared. It's that situation you want to avoid being in the first place, so you don't end up with players like him. Do you mean who just what?
Or just go and break the bank on the most promising non-league player. Like, we knew this all along.
Well, I really hope that in January that we go and just buy a striker.
And we get them on a 2-year, 3-year contract.
Yeah. Like, I know that's really a tough task. It's always difficult to buy in January, especially difficult to buy strikers, especially ones that are fit and scoring goals, because who would want to sell that and you have to pay over the odds. But yeah, maybe you go to a non-league team and you do what Rotherham did to us, which is make them an offer they can't refuse.
Yeah.
We couldn't turn down whatever it was, just over £1 million for Nombe, because we are never in the position to turn down that kind of money. There must be other clubs in that situation. We've got money, You're just going to have to spend a bit of it.
Yes.
I know we don't want to, but...
Well, otherwise... Because, as we've always said, the Project 6000 thing, which, by the way, is really working at the minute, that relies upon results. It relies upon not necessarily being League One, although that's where we now are. To leave League One, we either have really good results or really bad results. Unfortunately, at the minute, we're in the realm of really bad results and pretty miserable performances. Barnsley's coming up, which we'll talk about in a minute, where we could fully get thumped, or certainly not be in the game at all and lose 2-0. That's definitely not outside the realms of possibility.
No.
You can't expect the commercial team to pack the ground out, do all this good work with nice kits and blah, 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 if you're not investing in Colwell's team. He's a great manager with obviously really good contacts. Let him spend some money.
I think we don't have much. I don't see how we have much choice really, than other than to just do that. It's only one. It's like I think we just need one player. I know we've got injuries and stuff like that, and that's going to happen. And we've been a bit unlucky with that this season compared to previous years where we've actually got away with it quite nicely without people having too many bad injury problems, or especially in areas that we really needed. But we have got unlucky with this year. But if we're optimistic about that those people will be back and and can start playing again, and none of them. It's not like no one's broken their leg. No one's got a Kyle Taylor, have they?
No.
Spend some money on a striker.
Project 6000, we're currently in the realms of Project 7000, right? We're getting 7,000 to most home games.
Not Northampton, but yeah.
But
not far off.
That's somewhere between 15 and 20 grand difference a week, a fortnight, if it's away, home matches.
Yeah.
That's massive. That's above budget. I'm no financier, but we've been told very clearly if we can hit 6,000, we can spend this much. Well, we're hitting 7,000. That's bank some of that by all means, but that's a lot of money.
That. We've got fees. I know we've spent out, and we've got some expensive players in now as well, and they've backed Colwell with that, which is good. But we do need. There's just what's the point stopping at this at here?
Yeah.
What's the point stopping at the point where we go but we're not giving you money for that, even though it's kind of pretty important, especially as we've. The reason we're in that position is because we did have Sam Nombe and we let him go in return for a load of money.
Yeah.
We do just have to spend some of that now.
And
I hope they do, but I mean, it's like I said, it's tough in January to do that. It should have been done before, and it's a kind of, I don't know who's to blame. I imagine several people, but it's poor from the club actually.
And it's also bad economics. You think the 10 players we've got are expensive players. It's bad economics to bother spending the money on 10 good players if the 11th one that you really need you haven't got. Do you know what I mean? You might as well have 10 cheap players because it's going to be the same result.
Yeah.
We could have had the youth team there last night and it would have been much worse than 4-1. I mean, I'm ignoring the 9-0, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Still no points.
All right, should we talk about Barnsley?
Yeah, all right, we'll do that in a minute. Welcome back to the Big Bang Theory podcast. You can get in touch with us in all the normal ways, of course, at Big Bang Pod on Twitter /X. Not Xweb, that's different. Xweb should be hassling Musk for some cash.
Different spelling.
That's true. Correct. Or bigbankpod@gmail.com, or we're on Facebook as well. Of course, the Big Bank Theory podcast. Thanks to you all for continuing to listen. We do appreciate it, although we're happy just to talk into the void as well.
Either way's fine.
Either way. I did an embarrassing shout at the keeper on Saturday into the void.
Yes.
You know, it happens. Motion just gets hold of you sometimes, doesn't it?
That was one of those. It was a day for that, wasn't it?
It was.
Like I said about my comments on Sonny Cox. Didn't mean it. Just kind of like got a bit frustrated.
Anyway, Saturday, there's no chance of us getting frustrated because we're playing Barnsley, who are 4th in the league and who won 4-0 at Cambridge last night.
Yep, another home game.
Another home game. The Tykes.
Let's not forget, we beat them home and away last season.
Yeah, it was a Stansfield winner, wasn't it, at their place? Happy days. Heady days.
You never know. You
never know.
I mean, we were bad against Northampton.
We were brilliant against Luton.
Exactly,
yeah.
and I'm not like at the point yet where I'm like, oh, this is going to be another loss. I'm not quite there yet.
No.
Although I think there's a decent chance we will lose, but they've got Devante Cole.
Yeah, son of Andy.
Outstanding.
How many has he scored this season?
He scored 9 this season.
9?
According to Live Score, the app, he's got 9 goals. Do you remember? Have you heard Outstanding, Andy Cole's rap? Have you ever heard that?
Oh, from the past?
Yeah.
Vaguely.
Not recent.
Yeah, vaguely.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah?
Well, no, not good, but
Okay.
Something. Do you think Devante Cole, at some point in his career, will change his name to Devantrew Cole, like his dad
Good.
did?
I thought you were going to say Devandy Cole, just to make it easier.
No, you've got to in a bid to, probably Andy Cole just wanted to be called Andrew.
No, but do you know the truth about that?
What?
Nothing. There was no reason why they all started calling him Andrew Cole.
Well, he didn't want it.
He didn't want it. He's got no idea where it came from.
That's very strange.
Yeah. Some commentator took it on themselves to start calling him it. And
because I've always thought that, how old would Andy Cole been at that point when that happened?
28 or something.
Yeah, at least mid-20s.
Yeah.
And I've always thought you can't really change your name, even to a variation of your own name, past the age of about 16. Or maybe if you go to uni at 18, you can a whole new load of people, and you can go if I start calling myself Daniel, do you mean which I've never really been known as since I was a kid. It's too late now. It's too late for me to change to a variation. You can't suddenly you can't go around going, oh, I want everyone to call me Johnny now.
No.
No. Or Jono.
No. But anyway, Andy Cole didn't do that.
No, fair enough. No.
So Devante Cole, we've got to watch out for him. There's also Herbie Kane. Not quite as good as his almost namesake, but they've got quite a team. Max Waters. They're obviously
Cadden.
They're pushing for it, aren't they?
They're a good side. It was a bit of a kind of last season. That it was a feat to beat them in both those games. So, and obviously they came up with us.
Oh yeah.
Did they win the playoffs then? Did they? I can't remember.
Did they come up with us?
Maybe. Yeah, they must have done. We played them last season.
No, it wasn't last season. We got promoted.
Oh yeah. No, they didn't come up with us. I don't know what I'm talking about.
No, right. It's if we're on form and Trevitt's back, I feel like, well, why not?
Do we have any? Is there any suggestion that he will be back?
No, I don't know. I haven't heard an update on him for a while.
Okay.
I think Rankin not for some time.
Right.
I think who knows about Musquay. I think all the rest. Colwell said a week or two ago, none of them are far away.
What about Niskanen? He must be miles off.
Oh yeah, Niskanen's the one that's miles off.
Niskanen was just in the stand, with the away fans last night with his dad, and it's cool, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
I wish he was playing. I mean, that's another one that, like I said, it's just bad luck in it. I mean, that wasn't even playing for us that he got injured.
No.
And he just looked so useful.
Yeah.
Again, what can you do? Shame, but yeah. I mean, I think we can. Barnsley aren't.
Well, no one's infallible in this league.
No, exactly.
There's no Ipswich this year, is there?
No, we need a better performance than we did on Saturday.
Certainly.
And we need to not concede a stupid goal early on, because I feel like the last 2 games that's happened, it's just like, not the Charlton match, but the Oxford match and the Northampton match. That's what happened, and then it was just done from that point.
Yeah. And whereas with Luton, we hold out, and then there's every chance.
Yeah.
Yep. It's Well, I'd hate to see us coming away without anything from this game. I think that would be not disastrous, but really
no. Like I said before, we've already bought ourselves a bit of grace with our early performances and and points. But we got to start picking up some points at some point.
Yeah. And the week after it's Bristol Rovers.
Oh yeah.
But
if that happens,
there's rumours that Bristol's going to be cancelled.
It's in the balance
because they've been
about time
feeling up Newport in the
Joey Barton
bogs.
Just slated one of his players by name in an interview.
It's insane.
I mean, they did win last night, so maybe you can argue,
Luke Thomas,
that it worked.
Yeah. No, I mean he's a hard man to stomach.
Barton.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I realise I'm underplaying it.
Yeah.
But honestly, what's he like?
I know.
Get a grip.
Anyway, we'll talk more about him when we get round to that Bristol game.
That's right. So there's rumours because it's an international weekend.
Yeah.
They've got some internationals. Is it?
I don't know if it's even full. I think it might be under 21s or whatever. But we'll see. I think the squads haven't been named yet, so we don't know. But I think they put a thing out saying there's a good chance. Bristol did saying there's a good chance it won't be happening. So I imagine that would move to. I had a little quick look at the calendar, and it looked like to me like the next kind of available would be like kind of first or second Tuesday of November.
Right.
But I don't know.
By the way, they've only given us 600 tickets.
No, then they just put another 500 on sale.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll see about that when that happens or not. But it's Barnsley, the Tykes.
Yeah, and then if anyone's interested, there's Arsenal under-21s are coming to play us at St James's Park on Tuesday in the Papa John's.
Doesn't bode well, does it, that Reading under-21s beat us 9-0?
Oh, then we've got to play Arsenal. Yeah. Can't we just... What could we do to get out of this competition without having to play any of the matches?
I don't know.
Have you been following... Publicly criticise Papa John's pizzas? Maybe we could have a go now. They're not that good.
I mean, they're better than Domino's.
Yeah, I mean, that's not saying much, though, is it?
Fair comment.
What about Pizza Hut?
Pizza Hut's probably the best of the three.
Is it?
I'd say so.
You reckon?
But I'd say the flat on 4th Street is the finest of all.
Yeah, we're going to need bigger guns than that, though. They're not going to be worried about that, are they? Oh, a tiny little vegetarian/vegan pizza place that only has one store, like one restaurant.
Yeah.
We need we need something bigger than that.
I mean, I was just looking to get a free pizza off
Chip
the flat.
shops. Just get chips. Get a curry. Get Chinese.
Go to Italy.
Get a Thai. Get anything. Just don't get a Papa John's, and then maybe they'll kick us out of the contest.
Have you been following the stuff about the Premier League dishing out more cash to the EFL?
Why?
Because
I'm suspicious.
One of the stipulations is... So the EFL have been pushing for this, and the Premier League are slowly coming round to it. One of the stipulations is parachute payments can go on for longer, but that we have to be more open to more under-21 teams playing our full teams. So I don't exactly know what that means, but basically... As much as we hate Papa John's, they'll increase it somehow if they want us to get more money.
I don't like being held to ransom in this way.
No, it's terrible.
By being held to ransom over a pittance.
Yeah.
By some essentially kind of like, unpleasant Premier League owners.
It's not even very much money because it's...
it isn't.
It's filled, it changes the further down you go. So I worked it out, and I think each League 2 team would get... less than $500,000 each.
Right.
And, we would get slightly more.
It's nothing to them, is it?
No.
And they won't even pay it. And, they won't even pay it. Not going to get that in one lump sum, are you?
No,
you won't get it straight away. We're just being screwed, from every angle.
The football review that's still in the pipeline, I don't know what happened. Obviously, we'll assume there'll be a new government next year, which will probably make that slow down again. You feel like nothing's going to improve. And... I mean, obviously, City are fine, but...
What a bleak outlook.
You can't help but notice that the things that aren't fine about the things that Exeter City have to deal with i.e. Papa John's, are in direct relation to the very wealthiest clubs. I think like a team like, if you've noticed the Scunthorpe story at the minute, it's an absolute disaster. And it's all because they let anyone buy a team at this level, and then they let very corrupt people have the biggest clubs, who then obviously don't want to give away their money.
Yeah.
So,
no.
Terrible.
Whole thing's a joke. We should boycott it.
Oh, if there was any way
Why
to,
don't we
I'm
all
sure.
just go and watch? Why don't we start all watching snooker instead?
Ooh, good idea.
Just do a snooker podcast.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, start that from next week.
The Big Break Theory podcast.
Perfect.
All right.
Jim Davison might have a thing or two to say about him.
I don't care about him. I care about Virgo.
Virgo, I've always assumed good lad.
Yeah.
But I mean,
why? Because of his snazzy waistcoat.
He did. Well, I did like him on the commentary. But he did hang around. Fair enough, paid with Jim Davison for quite a while. So I wouldn't like to bet the farm on him being a good lad.
No, all right.
If anyone knows John Virgo personally, maybe you can let us know. Maybe he was, I don't know, maybe he hated Davidson all along and was sticking around, for other reasons.
He just loved his trick shots.
Very good at them.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll be back next week with a snooker-themed podcast. If it's football you're into, we'll catch up with you at some point.
Well, don't worry about it, because, like we said, football's finished anyway. You've seen that all over it. Look at the penalty decision. If you got anyone to blame David Rock.
Yeah.
And, Klopp or someone.
Klopp. Klopp's tasting his own medicine, isn't he? With his got to have VAR. Don't want it anymore, does he?
Good.
Lol.
Good. Look at those teeth. You look like an idiot.
I don't know if the teeth and his views on VAR directly relate to one another.
I don't care. I mean, I think it does in a roundabout way. It's bound to. Who would think it was a good idea to have those teeth? Someone who's got some other sort of stuff going on.
Got to cancel an appointment at the dentist then. All right. Thanks for listening, everyone. My name's John. I'm here with my friend and colleague Dan.
Cheers.
See you soon.